this past year. If you will tell us about those. Do we have any that you know about? If not, that's good. We don't see any hands. Okay. We have. Okay. We have also then the good news. We have babies born in the last year. We have one. Okay.
Madison from Sissy and Dominic.
Okay. That's 2 years. Okay. So we have Tammy has a new baby this year. Tell us her name.
Her name is Amanda. You will hear her, I'm sure.
Okay, she's over there with Grandma. I think
Yeah,
she's being held with Grandma. Or anybody else with new babies in their family?
Well, there's a great granddaughter was born to Nicole, Hazel's granddaughter.
Her name is Rose, but it wasn't last year, it was the year before. She's 18, 19 years old now.
Well, I had a new grandson in December of last year, and his name is Trey Nicholas, and he lives in Utah, so I don't get to see him very often. And then I have a new granddaughter that when we left here in Texas last year, we went back to Ohio, and we arrived just in time for her adoption. And so she's 5 years old, and she's delightful, and we love inviting her to our family as well. And so, anybody else have any additions to their families? Okay. How about anybody wants to tell us about marriages in their families? Any new marriages that anybody have? What are you going to tell us about
Maybe
that?
next year.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Well, how about anything else you want to brag about? You have any graduations in the process, or any of those things that are happening that we would like to hear about? There we go.
My youngest son, Matthew, who graduated from A&M, is now gainfully employed by Hastings School District, the 8th District in Houston. He's able to pay his own rent payment. Transfer tuition to A&M. Recently, he's actually paid for his first payment on his car insurance.
Well, we all celebrate with you. That's wonderful. I have one who just recently graduated also and lived in Ohio, and unfortunately he hasn't been able to get that job yet. And so we're still waiting for that to happen. So we have, our families are still growing. You have something to tell us
Well,
about?
she's urging me to say that my grandson graduated from high school. I guess that's no big deal. He's going to Baylor and he's doing well there.
Well, we love to hear the celebrations of everybody who is having wonderful times in their family. Are you going to take care of her?
She'll be okay for a little bit.
We got around for Grandma put her pension in.
Okay, we have a reminder. I want to make sure that you look at the books, which I've given you, the little folder books, and make any changes in there, additions, things that have not gotten into our book in the past, so that we have updates all the time of your families, so that we're able to make sure that we don't lose track of what's happening in our family, because we are in the process, and we have been for more than a year, of trying to increase the knowledge that we have of our family, and to gather more stories, more pictures. Kurt's been doing a great job with his family in gathering stories from that didn't get into our first edition of the book. And so his will be one of them, that stories that'll get in. We would like for every family to increase their stories and pictures. So if you've got any, please make sure we get them. The the books are there for you to write in and to give back to me so that I'm able to keep that as a ongoing updates all the time. I guess from there we're ready to hear from Tammy, who's been to Scotland. We're going to hear all about how wonderful it is to go there. You want to Tammy, or you want to just?
I'll sit here. I think I should be able to project enough where everyone can hear me. If not, come closer, please. I did get a chance, thanks to my in-laws having family in Scotland, which is a very neat thing. Let me tell you, it's also interesting to hear them talk because you can't understand half of what they're saying. But one thing I would recommend to anyone to go, of course, I would also recommend you save up for a few years because it is very expensive. That being basically because of the exchange rate between the pound and the dollar. Pricing otherwise over there, if you look at it in the pounds, it's comparable to here. That's meals, everything except for gas and lodging. They handle a little bit different. So those are going to be more expensive. But when you add in the exchange rate, you're paying twice as much over there for what you would pay here. So you go through money very quickly. But other than that, let me tell you, when you get there and you smell the air, you will have a burst of energy like you've never had before, which will come in handy because you walk a lot, especially if you plan on seeing any castles, which we took in about 7. So, I mean, they are amazing. They really are amazing. And I tell you, the ones that we enjoyed the most were actually the residence castles, the ones that were not royal castles. The Edinburgh Castle, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful. Stirling Castle, beautiful. But they turned a lot of it into museums because they housed military in Stirling and Edinburgh castles during the wars, World War I and whatnot. And so most of that turned into barracks and now museums. So you don't get to see what it was like before. And we really enjoyed the ones we were able to go to and see what it was like before. Seeing the rooms and the stairways, which are tiny, and the steps, which are that big. The people, I think, must have been much shorter back then because I barely fit through some of the doorways without having to splash down. So we start, so I ramble, so I apologize now. But we start with getting there. As far as transportation, they do have trains, they have subways, they have buses in every town. You can reach just about any town. And they do have tickets that you get that are for everything. It's a Scotland Rail. And you get the one ticket group and you can get onto anything, which I probably recommend because when you start purchasing it separately like we did, it adds up very quickly. But as far as other than that, you're going to be walking. So take comfortable shoes, but not too many because their cars are half the size of ours. The trunks, which they call the boot, is half the size of any of ours. So we had to have family members bring 2 vehicles in so that we could just get our luggage to where we're staying. So that's another consideration if you're able to go. We did really well. Also, I'll tell you what, the children did really well with strollers. They're very accommodating. We also noted that over there they seem to have a level of safety that we do not here. We were shopping and noticed a lot actually, of many children sitting in strollers. Lauren being, I do believe, that Argyle area. And so we still have the clan chief over there is a woman, thank you, and has been. We did have the clan went through problems, I will call them. We listen to me. I want so much to be one of them. But the McDougalls are very family loyal, and that is what got them in trouble. And if you get a chance to read, I made a copy and maybe scan and email if you'd like it.
Show us your colors.
But this is the tartan of the McDougalls.
How do you wear it?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. They have ties. This is just a scarf because they get very pricey, as I was saying. But you get these actually in any of the shops over there. And this one I got in Oban and met some McDougalls in the shop. And they call us the bad ones. We had to leave Scotland. Our ancestors had to leave Scotland because we participated in wars that we shouldn't have. And there was actually one brother who did not because he made friends with the Duke of Argyll. And he told him, don't do it, so he didn't, and last he got all the McDougall estates back in about 1700s, and that's when also our ancestors ended up leaving. So, and headed on into Canada. So, just let y'all know if you go over there, we're the bad ones. And they're very interested in us. I will tell you, he asked a lot of questions. They're very interested in where the clan has gone and all the wings of the family. So that was interesting speaking to them. But I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place in what I wanted to mention. When the McDougalls first started, though, they built several castles. Guyland Castle is on the island of Carrera, which is just a couple miles across the water from Open. And the Guyland Castle was just restored this last year. They just completed it in 06, I think May or June of 06. I did not get to go see it. But the plan, the McDougall clan, saved up money and refurbished the castle, which was a huge undertaking because it had been razed, or basically mostly burnt to the ground. And they raised it back up and it's open now as for viewing. So that's something which would be awesome to see. All I've seen is the pictures on the computer. Dunollie, of course, which is still the clan seat, and that is about 2 miles north of Open. And if you're like us, you park your car in Open and you're walking through the town, it's a good walk. And if you ask, like I did, I asked the McDougall in the shop, how far is it? Can we walk? Oh, sure, 15 minutes. Okay, not. You're walking.
That's aerobic exercise.
You keep going and you're like, surely it's around this corner. But I would tell you that you get around that last corner on the waterfront and you turn and there it is. It's up on a hill, and I have a picture of the view if y'all want to walk around and see the pictures later. And it's just beautiful. It really is. You see what is left, and it's only one solid building left. And it does have to go up to a second floor, but there's nothing above that. So, but the single thing standing up, it is covered in vines that have grown in over the years, and it is beautiful to see. It really is. But you have to hike your way up a windy road that is barely big enough for one car, much less two, and there's no shoulder. And there are no shoulders on any of their roads. As my husband found out when he almost took off the rear view of the vehicle we were driving. So one morning, if you drive a car, first you got to get used to the space difference as you are on the left side of the car versus, or whatever. You're on the opposite side of the car, you're on the opposite side of the road. And so it's very hard to gauge how much room you have, especially when you have rock walls, which are on most of them. You have rock walls on either side of the road, no shoulders. So it's one thing to be used to. Other than that, again, I jumped all over the place. Does anybody have any questions about traveling over there?
Well, but when you say McDougall, that is a well-known name in Scotland.
Yeah, in the 12 to 1300s, again, this is all in this booklet. The 12 to 1300s, the McDougalls and two other families, two other clans, basically ruled Scotland. We have the Western Banks, of course, and all the Isles. The Isle of Fortitude, Carrera, Tiri, Cole, I think, is another one. I do have a map if you want to take a look at it. But, and then 1300s, again, the family loyalty, which is, again, something we learned from my mama, which is Allie McDougall King. Family was music. Family is what she said. That's the number one thing you should be interested in is family. Well, in the 1300s, that family loyalty got me through some trouble because we married into a family of Comans, C-O-M-Y-N, and Red Coman was murdered by Robert the Bruce in a church, and our family did not take kindly to that. So the McDougalls then were feuding with the Bruce, and this is just years before he came into power. So when he came into power, he came after our family because we did try to kill him a number of times. And the brooch of Lorne, or brooch, it's actually a huge pin, which the clan chief of the McDougalls still has. It's still in the family. We stole that from him when we almost killed him one time. So you can understand why he might not like the McDougalls. So he took anyone he could find. The Campbells were his allies, and they took Dunstopnage Castle, which I have in pictures. Dunstopnage is maybe 5 miles north of Oban and north of Dunollie Castle, which was also built by McDougalls and ruled by us until the end of the 1300s when it was taken by the Campbells. They raised Dunollie actually Dunollie Castle was raised twice. First time they rebuilt. The second time they murdered basically anybody who came out and raised the castle, and then the clan was scattered for twice as time and never rebuilt. So, as you can see, that's where we lost power. And again, we didn't get our land back until 1700s, and we made friends with Duke of Argyll, who got us in with the Stuarts, who were the ruling power of the time, and we started getting Alexander, happened to be his name, Alexander McDougall, was a clan chief who got a lot of the McDougall lands back. So it was really, really interesting to read about the clan history and to see the land. And it's just sometimes just breathtaking. Also, I have pictures here. If you see Loch Lomond, I don't know if you've heard of Loch Lomond. I had before just through watching TV and everything. It's beautiful. And
Is that where the Loch Ness Monster is?
no, that's Loch Ness. Loch Ness, which is actually up by Inverness, where John Dowland was born and from. I don't know how they ended up there. I lose track when I try to find out, but.
Is the name still spelled the same? McDougall?
McDougall actually, and it's in that book too, there's variations. People have dropped M-A-C, M-C, sometimes you'll see it with one L. Then there are a lot of clan sects. S-E-C-T-S.
That's what got him in trouble once.
Certain types of
Which are
births.
still considered part of the McDougall clan, but it's the McDowells and McDonald's, and there's a whole list of these names which are basically come off of the McDougall clan. So it's a huge amount. I mean, there's one everywhere.
McDougall's the original.
McDougall's the original because Dougal was the eldest son of Somerled, who was the Norse king. And so Dougal is the founding father, I guess you could say, of the McDougall line. Dougal then had sons who were, I think Ian was one, and after was Matthew. Yes. So they were the beginning, and then that line, his children and grandchildren, once we started to build all the fortifications, and we had a number like 12 castles at one time the McDougalls had throughout the area. And of course, the Isle of Mull was also in McDougall rule and was taken by another family when we fell out of grace. How many castles?
How did we make all these castles back then?
Well,
I mean, you know, to acquire all these castles and acquire the land, I mean, if we taxed.
Mostly conquering.
Stuff
I
like
think
that.
back then it was about money. It was about having the land. Yeah, and
There still had to be some kind of trade or some kind of.
they don't really mention it. It was never really a trade mentioned in the McDougalls. I know blacksmithing was something that in later generations I read McDougalls before, and I think it's in that. I have to look it up again. It's been a while since I've read it, but what was it called? What McDougalls were called meant the dark or the black stranger. Because McDougall men were all dark hair, dark eyes, tall, dark strangers is what they were called when they came in. So that's what the translation is again. I have to read it.
Just watch the movie Braveheart and learn all about it.
But actually, there's yeah. Well, actually, the McDougalls were allied with William Wallace, but they were against Robert the Bruce, and so it caused conflicts within the family. But again, family loyalty stood through with the McDougalls, lost their lands and got them back. So that's an amazing story. Well, with our ancestor, which is the John Dow McDougall, I think he came over with a son that he had already, his family came over. He only a couple at that time, and I think
got
two
it,
other
mega
brothers
picture somehow.
at the time that came with him. And I think one of the brothers was named Alexander
Please
as
say
well. I forget the other name.
Those are the only ones that came.
That
There
came
were
over.
lots of those commercials.
A lot of
There were lots of McDougalls that were not closely aligned with them.
Right. Our line are the ones, it's just a family group of maybe between 6 and 10 is I think the number I got from my research online that came over with him. It was him, some brothers, and then the children that he already had.
I've had with many other McDougalls that came.
Oh, yeah. They came into Canada. We do have new McDougalls that came a little bit later and ended up in the New England area, and they're very big in the New England area, California, There's also Australia, so McDougall's have roamed the world. They're everywhere. It's amazing to see where they are. Yeah, they do.
But when you're over there, I mean, if you say you're McDougall, that is like, I consider it a good, bad, or, you know, we're both. Is it like a good thing that you're McDougall, or is it like, oh, I'm a McDougall?
Really, it's nothing at this point. There's been so much integration.
There's no care.
They know the name.
Yeah, they just know the name.
Other than that, there's no connotation as far as, you know.
Get out.
Yeah, they know the name. And as far as that goes, my husband's family, which is all Scottish, they were actually Irish originally, and the whole clan ended up in Scotland. And they say that I'm probably more Scottish than they are, simply from this one little line that comes out. So it's actually quite enough. The Scottish people are very nice. It's hard to count their money because a lot of it's coins and the dollar coin. I'll tell you this, they're very nice. They will repeat themselves when you're ordering food, and they will help you count your money. And I'll tell you what, they may not talk to you at all when you're on the train. They don't talk to you, period, which is odd for us because people just start talking like crazy around here. But you go over there, they don't talk. But when you're in a store, every single clerk you deal with is going to tell you thank you. They're nice. They're so nice over there. But it's really good because we've gone to delis during the lunch hour, and we get up there, and of course we are half the speed they are, and we can't understand them half the time. They were very nice about it, describing what was in the food, which is something.
Haggis.
No, they do deep fry. They have variety pies. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. They are over here too. But variety pie is basically it's a pork type meat mixture that is in a breading, and it's almost like a crescent roll type breading. It's like a pita pocket look thing, and they're delicious. But they also have ones that have lamb, which is very big over there. The lamb. And they shepherd's pie. So no, it's just the meat in the pie, and it has seasoning. It's very good, I would say, very good. But they're also big on baked goods. Let me tell you, these people eat sweets, and they have everything you can think of in sweets. It's wonderful. And they're big in travel. Everywhere you go, there is going to have a fish and chip shop, which was during the war. I believe the government. The government actually offered money up for people who would start up fish and chip shops. Fish and chips being the fried fish fillets, and chips being potato. French fries. Yeah, they're bigger. They're not what we would consider French fry from our places, but yeah. And they're everywhere. They're still everywhere to this day. Also, being that Britain is big in India. Every town has Indian food. You will find Indian food restaurants everywhere over there. That's something they eat a lot. They cook it, they eat it, it's everywhere. But during my 2-week stay there, I lost 10 pounds simply from walking, and we ate good. We ate sweets every night. We walked and had ice cream, which is very good, every night. But getting over there, it's just, again, you don't notice that you're tired until at the end of the day and your legs start hurting. and then again, the next morning you're ready to get up and go. One thing that made it hard, and it was for me for a few days, is it doesn't get dark until almost midnight, and it's light again by 3 or 4 a.m. So you get used to light and you sleep light. And I don't know, is there anything else anyone has a question about? Or as being over there? What transportation is like? Save up your money.
What does Scottish sound like? What does that sound like? What does the language sound like?
Oh, yeah. I can't even begin because when you look at the language, which Gaelic, being the Scottish language, they don't speak it. They speak English with an accent.
So it's English with an accent.
Yeah, it's almost, I don't know if you know the English accent. Take that and put a little bit of a curl like this.
Big curl on it. Come to my office in Victoria, and I'll call customer service. And call it over. That's stuff you can't even understand. We've outsourced it.
I mean, I could call my mother-in-law and get her talking, because when she starts talking, she'll lapse into, she can cut it off like, nothing. But the A's are always ah, it's a caw. That's how they say it's a caw. It's not a car, it's a caw.
Boston.
Go to Rhode Island then if you want to hear that music.
It's simply the difference in the way they say their vowels and what they call things. It's like that. It's a wee band. It's not a big kid, a baby. It's a wee band, And when the baby's fussing not against crying out right, it's grooming. I heard that a lot. What? My little one would grooming. Grooming. She's groaning, kind of, is what it looks like when they say it. It's like grooming wee band. They told me that. So it's interesting. But when they get to talking, it's just you gotta listen very intently to catch the words. It's simply they say their vowels a little bit different. And then the words that they use as slang words for them are, of course, completely different.
Yes.
So when they start talking regularly, and of course when you go into these delis and you're wanting to try something like deep fried,
Leave it on to you, David.
I want to thank Tammy for her presentation. I also and which I got several years ago, and I had the opportunity to go to Highland Game to meet the clan chief for my area in Ohio. And when we did, we got lots of brochures about the Clan McDougall Society. And there's a group here in Texas. There's a group where I am in Ohio, and they meet once a year in a place in where it is. All of a sudden I'll remember in a minute. But they have a big gathering of all McDougalls, but they throw in a few of those McDowells and McDonalds. You meet those as well, right? Because they're titled. But I had the opportunity to join the McDougall Society, Clan Society, and I got a letter from Marax McDougall of McDougall. She's our clan chief in Scotland, is where you visited, and they even spell my name right. They send me a great deal of information about the Clan Society. I would like to offer these to you if there's anybody interested in joining the Clan Society. I'm sure they'd be happy to have you. And this isn't enough.
We like one.
What I found really interesting was that when I donated my money to them, that I became a part of the restoration of Dunollie Castle. And they sent me this little brochure on what they think it looked like a long time ago. There's a drawing of the whole thing that you looked at if you'd like. It's a preservation kind of thing. So I think that it was well worthwhile me joining just because I got a lot of history, I got a lot of background, and when I went to the Highland Games, it was actually held in Pennsylvania, but we traveled there for a weekend and went to the games, and we met the clan chief there, and I was invited to join the grand parade. All the clans parade their colors, and so I saw more men in skirts that weekend than I've ever seen in my life. But they were great and had a lot of the Scottish music and the bagpipes and everything. So it was really a great experience. Doug tells me there's one close to him. When is the one that's
off the Mount New York near Albany?
In Albany.
And it's so close to Canada, it's a huge turnout. It goes on for 3 or 4 days.
Oh, they all do. It's a big weekend, or at least 3 or 4 days of celebration, and they have it's really wonderful to actually meet the people that, you know, we claim their name. We don't have much of a background of Scottish, most of us. We're probably more people would speak German than Scottish, but we have the McDougall name, and that's our claim back to Scotland. So it's really a great place to.
They claim us. I'll let you know that. When I talked to the people in the shop, the guy said, "Oh, that's okay," you know. They claim us. If you have McDougall background, you're McDougall. So.
And that was exactly when I went and was invited. They just took me face value. You know, I said I'm a McDougall, and they invited me to march in the parade.
It's
That quick, you know.
it's out.
So they're
0 minutes.
very free to for you to
I'll turn it
join. I
off.
have lots and lots of
This one?
information.